The powerful are trying to take over the world. But this time, it is not the Illuminati. No, they want to stop people from reading. They are the Illiterati. Hey everyone, I am Kylie here at Games Unlimited in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and today I get to talk to you about Illiterati. This is a game that I first had a chance to play, I think, at Origins 2021. They had a prototype of it. It is a cooperative word game, one of the genres I absolutely adore, and I've been very excited to get this one into the shop. So it's finally here. What I'm going to show you today is the deluxe edition of Illiterati. We may also have the standard edition at some point in the future. The deluxe edition comes with these great wooden tiles and a couple other little perks, but the gameplay is the same across both editions. So, thematically, what's happening is this is a world in which the powerful want to stop people from reading, because if you read, you have knowledge, and knowledge is power, and you can overthrow them. So they have started burning books, trashing books. They don't want people to be able to read, which is why they are known as the Illiterati. It is your job as librarians to save some of these books, finding fragments of the books, putting the words together in order to bring literacy back to the world. Great theme, amazing artwork. I love the whimsical artwork for the different villains that are here in the game. You're going to pull letters out of this bag, and each player is going to have some letters in front of them, plus there's going to be a common pool of letters known as the library. Now you have 3 minutes, timed by this little sand timer here. You have 3 minutes to try to use all those letters in words. You can make as many words as you want. The rules are, general word game rules. You can't use proper nouns. You can't use acronyms and things like that. Each word has to be at least 3 letters. And that's pretty much it. So you're taking these letters at the start of the round. Every player is going to get 7 additional letters. They start with 5 in front of them. So let me pull out some more here. So 7 new letters. You've got every letter of the alphabet, and the letters also have suits on them. Those are going to be important in a second. So you're taking these letters, and you're trying to create words. I'm actually looking here. I've got a J-U-I-C. Do I have any? I have an E. Cool. So, okay, so I can get juice. But I've still got these other letters out here. So sort of like bananagrams. You need to use as many letters as possible. But it's also cooperative. So, maybe I'm like, I'm trying to create a word. Does anyone have a Q that I can use? Does anyone have an L? I need that. You'll be swapping letters between players. Because it doesn't matter who makes the words. It just matters that you use up as many of the letters as possible. I mentioned this library over here. At the end of the round, when everyone's done, you don't want to have more than 3 letters left over in the library. Okay? And that actually changes depending on the difficulty. But right now, normal, you don't want more than 3 letters left over. So those will stay, and you'll be able to use them next round. But if you have more than 3 letters, the time runs out, you just couldn't quite make the words, well, then you're going to burn a letter. When you burn a letter, you'll put it on this little burn tracker here. This is how you're going to lose the game. If you've got space, depending on the difficulty, to put up to 3 letters, but if you need to put a 4th letter or a letter on the little raven symbol there, game over. You've all lost. So try to make words. Try not to have too many leftover letters, more than the library. Cool. All well and good. 2 things are going to mess things up. Okay, 1, at the end of every round, you are going to get an Illiterati villain will show up. And they're going to do various things. So this is Professor Absalom Faust. And he is going to do, his thing is, he was dead the whole time. For the upcoming round, anyone who must bind a book must bind an additional 4-letter word. I haven't talked about book binding yet, but he's going to make that a bit more difficult. Another one here, fighting fire with even more fire. This is Fiora Ironclad. Her thing, next round, the library limit is 0. So instead of being able to have 3 letters left over, you got to use them all. So these are going to make things a little bit more difficult for you. There are multiples of the same person, but they do different things. Here's another Professor Absalom Faust. So if you draw a 2nd or 3rd or 4th of the same villain, you're going to stack them and do all of the things that they have done. So it's going to be, as the game goes on, you're going to be doubling and tripling up on some of the villains, doing more and more difficult things to make it harder for you to move along. Now, let's talk about book binding. This is how you win the game. So each person is going to have a book in front of them, and these are the really fun things. So like I've got a red book here. Red book is a book that's been burnt. Blue books are books that have been waterlogged. No real gameplay difference. So this is the Knights of the Hexagonal Table. I love the little quotes here. This one says, "Our sequel begins with Sir Pythagoras commenting from his angle, the damsel seemed very acute. but he was quickly chastised for making such an obtuse comment. So there's lots of cool, whimsical things on the books. But in order to bind this book, you need to make a total of 8 letters worth of words. Doesn't have to be one 8-letter word. Sometimes it does. And they have to be shapes and math terms. So you're not just trying to make any words you can, although you want to do that so that you don't have leftover words in the library. But to bind the books, you need to make specific words, shapes and math terms. So like angle or circle or round. So you're trying to do that. And this is also where the suits come in. This particular card has 3 of the purple suit on it. So you have to, that individual player, has to have 8 letters worth of words that have at least 3 of those symbols on it that are math and shape terms. Now, one of the things, this is probably my favorite part of the game, the general word game rules, right? No proper nouns, no acronyms and things. They go out the window when you're filling out a word for one of these cards. So I could say Pythagoras, because I could argue that Pythagoras is a math term, or Pythagorean. I can do that even though it's a proper name because it is fulfilling one of the books I need to bind. So you can get real creative with that, right? Maybe you need to make animals. So sure, I could do elephant, but maybe I could also say Dumbo. I could make the argument that that is an animal, even though it's a proper name. So you get to have a lot of fun with that. Of course, you've got wild tiles and things like that. But ultimately, each player needs to bind a certain number of books. You'll move on to the finale where you have to bind, do the final chapter, do a harder mission that everyone has to do together, complete it, and you win the game. So that's Illiterati. Fantastic word game. One I can't wait to try and play more and more of. Does 1 to 5 players. Fantastic presentation. If you like word games, if you like co-op games, if you like the sort of word games where it's not just about the words you know, but it's giving you limitations. Can you make a word that is a restaurant or fast food chain? Things like that. This is going to really be up your alley. I dig it. That's Illiterati. We have the deluxe edition currently at Games Unlimited. Come on down, ask us about it. Pick up a copy, take it home, and unbox some fun.